The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
Live from West End, Grand Bahama, this is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
We're coming to you live from the home of hospitality. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shoshina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, police increasing its presence in a residential community in Freeport in an effort to curtail crime. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us that the officers were joined by members of the Urban Renewal team.
The Urban Renewal 2.0 program continuing efforts to create safer communities. Officials descending on the Coral Reef Estates No. 2 residential area on Tuesday for a walkabout. Police Coordinator for Urban Renewal Inspector Henry Roll says getting in touch with residents through this door-to-door approach is having a positive impact.
Things we recognize is that since we did a walkabout about a month ago, there was some concerns in terms of crime related. But you know, our main focus here in the community is the cessation of crime, and that is what's one of the goals we want to achieve going forward the rest of this year. But however, you know, today we just want to help sensitize members of the community that you'll be here for them, and we need their full support in spite of, you know, any challenges that they may have. We wanted to establish a crime watch and have a sustained crime watch program in the Coral Reef area No. 2. You know, it's only can bring a good quality of life if you are serious about your community.
Manager of the Marcos City Urban Renewal Center, Omese Lightbourn, led a team of workers on the walkabout.
This initiative is to inform the community that we, along with other relevant agencies, are here to assist in any way we can. The Coral Reef area is of concern to us because of the information being received about the many needs of the residents, which include social needs.
The neighboring AGAPE House Church was recently targeted by vandals. Elder Jeff Hepburn believes this initiative is significant.
It's an opportunity for us to be able to connect further with persons in this area and help persons perhaps in ways that are beyond even their understanding. And I think it helps in a great way to bring an end to some of the challenges that we have in these little communities. And I believe when we are able to partner together with the police and the members of these communities, we're able to stabilize a lot of the things that are unknown even to the churches and unknown even to law enforcement.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, the man accused of making threats against immigration officers in May of this year was back before the court yesterday. 39-year-old Michael Stapleton, a.k.a. Michael Miller, pled guilty with an explanation to assault of a public officer, threats of harm to a public officer, and disorderly behavior. On the charge of assault of a public officer, Magistrate Helen Jones convicted Stapleton and fined him $500 or, in default, serve 1 month in prison. On the charge of disorderly behavior, he was convicted and fined $50. He was remanded to prison on the charge of threats by writing against immigration officers. That case is set for trial on September 8th. In other news, more upgrades on the drawing board for Grand Bahama Health Services as the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the Public Health Hospitals Authority, work together to improve the level of health care in local communities. Managing Director of the PHA, Herbert Brown, says come September, the PHA plans to expand services at the 8 Mile Rock Clinic.
To make this happen in September, we are going to engage, the government has made provision to engage a number of physicians and other staff. In fact, we intend to engage 6 additional physicians for the community health services. One of them will be the district medical officer that will focus her attention on improving the quality of service in West Grand Bahama.
Now, Brown says he believes September is a realistic timeline and notes that many benefits can be derived once the service hours are extended.
rather than having to go to the accident and emergency and having to wait extended periods of time, they are able to go to one of our clinics, and in this instance, the 8 Mile Rock Clinic, and they can be served very quickly. But what it also does, it allows us to focus on some of the core health issues in our country, many of them where people are dying could be prevented. And so our focus then will be on the community clinics. And as you heard, we intend to extend the operating hours to at least 9 o'clock at night.
Well, a new queen crowned to represent Grand Bahamas, 17-year-old Shadi Colebrook, sponsored by Exquisite Collection, was crowned Miss Grand Bahama 2014 at Le Chateau on the Green in Freeport on Sunday night. Shadi Colebrook is a graduate of Sunland Baptist Academy and aspires to obtain her bachelor's degree in performing arts and a master's in business management and graphic design. She also dreams of opening the first performing arts academy in Freeport. Among her prizes, the new Miss Grand Bahama will receive a scholarship from Tarif College and will undergo Bahama host training, thanks to the Ministry of Tourism. She will have the opportunity to represent the Bahamas at the Miss Coffee International Beauty Pageant in Colombia. First runner-up in the pageant was Felicia Colley, and Danielle Pratt came second runner-up. This year's judges were Tempest Bullard, McMahon Campbell, Roger Pinder, and Doreen Plummer. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Here in West End, many families have made a living from the sea, and those involved in bone fishing have been able to establish relationship with people from all around the world. A group in West End wants to continue this tradition by getting the youth involved. Megan Shepard has that story.
For 6 years, the West End Eco Fishing Camp has been helping kids in the Western District to develop a greater appreciation for the natural resources of the land and sea. Chairman Linda Barry Cooper says they began as a Bible and a fishing-based camp, but soon expanded to include as eco-friendly twist.
We started out as a Bible-based eco fishing camp to help the children in the West and 8 Mile Rock jurisdictions to become more environmental friendly, more environmental conscious about their environment here in West End, to be more eco-friendly, to care, to be better caretakers of the sea, and as well as we have swimming classes, snorkeling certification. We've added on to the program each year.
Director Barry Cooper says the camp also partners with the Royal Bahamas Police Force to ensure that the kids understand the importance of discipline. The camp, which is geared toward instilling the values of being eco-conscious and environmentally friendly, allows students to participate in a number of nature-based activities.
What we really do in terms of our program is we teach these children basics in boating. We teach them knotting and how to make knots. We teach them how to swim, the basic strokes. We also teach them about handline fishing, which is a major thing that Bahamians do here in the west end of the island. So in addition to that, we try to bring in other instructors to teach the children about things like solar energy and wind power, as well as experts who are actually marine biologists who come in and teach the children as it relates to the conch and to the fish species that we're teaching them about.
Cooper says that as time progresses, it is important to instill these values in the new generation at an early age.
The children who are young today do not know what it was like many years ago, so part of our role is to help educate them about what life was like back 40, 50, sometimes 60 years ago, when there weren't so many people around. Now that the population in the Bahamas has grown, and especially in our community, the depleting of the resources is taking a toll on the availability and the close proximity of things like conch, fish, and other sea life that we sustain ourselves with.
The camp runs for 13 weeks from March to June and closes out with a graduation ceremony. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, West End is known for its great hospitality, but it is also known for great food and fun. And so this coast settlement is the place to be on weekends as scores leave the hustle and bustle of the city just to take in the sights and sounds of the down-home experience. While the reasons may vary as to why people make the trek religiously to West End every Saturday and Sunday, it all boils down to the quaintness of the community, good food, and great hospitality. We caught up with the sisters Kim Russell and Lisa Knowles, who's from Nassau, and they share their love for this community.
I was on a mission. My sister hasn't been here in Grand Bahama in about, 3 years or so? And I said, I intend, if I have to bring and pull my car out there, I'm going to bring her down the West End so she could see it again.
The open airness, you could get conch salad or whatever you want. Come out by the beach, just relax. And the people are friendly.
Sherry Saunders says taking the drive to West End is all about the scenic view.
Oh, I love the scenic view of the ocean. I especially love coming down here to get delicious confitures and enjoying the cold beverages. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can get conch salad and beverages from anywhere. What makes West End so special?
The quaint, because it looks like a quaint village.
It was his first time here in the Bahamas, but he's had conch salad made by his wife many times before. But he admits that it's nothing like the conch salad in West End.
Like everything, I didn't want to go to tourist places. I just want to meet the people, and it's terrific.
Have you tried the conch salad yet?
Oh yeah, many times. Well, I knew from my wife. She made a lot of times for me, but here is better.
Yeah, it's really not the same thing when I make it, because I haven't been here for around 30 years. I've been living in Canada, and I came back to bring him for the first time, and he loves it.
Jensen Cooper and Dwight Knowles say you can catch them every Saturday and Sunday in West End.
You come down, you can get some nice conch fritters, you can get some conch salad, you can get some fried fish, whether it's barracuda, snappers, along with your pancake. You know, it's a home away from home, where you could really sit down and enjoy a good afternoon.
Basically just come on weekends, to sit on the deck of Triple Play and watch the sunset. And the tides go in and out. And the individuals that walk up and down the street, the tourists that drive their bicycles, we hail them, and we have fun. It's a lot of fun at West End.
Tonight, the General Manager of the Grand Bahama Tourism Office joins us live. Welcome, Ms. Betty Bethel.
Thank you, Shasheen. It's a pleasure to be here.
First of all, tell us about some of the plans for the West End area.
Well, we've got some great plans for West End, and what I would like to do is set the stage that makes these plans make sense. One of the ways that we promote this destination, because of its diversity, is that we have 3 destination experiences, 1 island. And those experiences would range from the East Grand Bahama, Freeport, Lucaya, and West Grand Bahama, and they're all different. Now, West Grand Bahama is an area of sleepy fishing villages, and it's where you have your out-island lifestyle. So our plans for this community is to really highlight that and show the diversity and the experience when guests arrive. And the first thing that we're going to do is establish a museum. And this museum and walking tour will be one that we can preserve and tell the West End story. And this will be done under the auspices of Antiquities and Monuments. We've already had talks with Dr. Tinker. Also, we will be bringing back the West End Move. We would like for every time there is a tour to West End, the culture is experienced through the West End Move. And finally, we will be establishing a tourist office here in West End to better service our visitors to this area.
How important is it to establish that tourism office?
It's extremely important because we need presence here that could monitor, implement training where necessary. Customer service training is key to what we do in preparation for the delivery of a unique experience. And we want an office here that could make sure that the West End moves when it's supposed to, make sure that the museum comes along nicely, and that this area gets the exposure and representation that it needs to have.
What is the response from guests once they come to this area?
You know, what they like is that they have all of the modern amenities in Freeport, the fine dining, and then all of a sudden they're half an hour, 40 minutes away, and they are in a totally different destination. They like the outdoor fish fry experience that's along the waterside. They like the fried fish and pancake that we talked to them about when we're on the road promoting this destination. So they just like the cultural components and interacting with what they would claim to be authentic Bahamians.
So as it stands, residents in the West End community, they have a lot to look forward to in the coming months?
Oh, absolutely. They have a lot to look forward to. They will be a part of this process and the experience. We believe that it is the people that really make the authenticity of the experience. So we are looking for them to fully embrace our plans and to assist us and guide us actually in recreating the West End experience.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you, Shashina. It's a pleasure. And thank you, ZNS, for making this opportunity possible for us to talk about our plans.
Not a problem. Stay with us, Ricardo Lightbourn. The fish and pancake that you talked about, this is Ricardo's favorite food.
Oh, good.
You know, he had it all night, and he's here once again. I think he's eating it now, but he's up next with sports.
Okay.
So he'll be coming up right now.
Hopefully he'll share.
Yeah.
Friendly faces believe.
Welcome to sports, everybody. I'm Ricardo Lightbourn. This one goes out to George McPhee. Get well, good guy. Well, heavyweight boxer Sherman Tank Williams is preparing for a bout in October in New Zealand. He's also thinking about bringing his training camp right here to Grand Bahama. Bahamian boxer Sherman Tank Williams has traveled the world and will be preparing for his October clash with Joseph Parker in New Zealand. Home for a few days, announced that he will bring his training camp to Grand Bahama. The reason is simple, says Tank.
We need to brand Grand Bahama as a sports tourist destination. And I've shared with my wife and a couple of friends already about possibly doing a week of my training camp here in Grand Bahama, bringing over my sparring partners from the United States, possibly bringing in one or two big names in the game, Mike Tyson or Lennox Lewis, and let's make this an event.
Sherman says he's proud to be a Bahamian and understand the rigors of keeping the Bahamas in the world's view.
Most Bahamians have never had the opportunity to actually witness a heavyweight boxing training camp. Me, myself, I've been all over the world in training camps with the Klitschko brothers, with Lennox Lewis, etc. And the thing that they always have in their corner was the fact that their home country always hosts their training camp. So being that I'm going to be going into New Zealand in October, I think it will be imperative to do at least a week or two training camp here in Grand Bahama and allow the media, the international boxing media, to focus on that week of sparring right here in Grand Bahama.
Tank says sports is the Bahamas' ticket to world exposure, and Bahamian athletes are making us proud every day. He believes firmly in one people, united in love and service. Now let's just hope that everything works out for Tank. We can get that training camp here. Don't forget that the urban basketball tournament is underway over there at the Jack Haywood Gym last night, folks. Marco City near Pine Ridge 37-36. Central Grand Bahama defeating West Grand Bahama 35-33. Igmorock put away East Grand Bahama 40-37. Pine Ridge got by Lucaya 43-41. 1 quarter of the hour is West Grand Bahama and East Grand Bahama. Pine Ridge and Igmorock will play at about, say, 7:15 or so. The opening ceremony set for 8 o'clock tonight, and it's live on ZNS 3, 8:10 a.m. The Minister of Works responsible for urban development, the Honorable, that is Brave Davis, will be the official to open the tournament. And guess what? The guys are going to have a good time tonight. Now, but here down in West End, they're going to play some basketball tonight. I don't know why in the world they bring Jiggy down here to play basketball. Somebody going to dunk on his head and bring him up in a stretcher. That's just the way it is. Let's look at sports. Like scrumptious, solid, tasty fried fish. Everybody.